Hey guys, this is Crap Hunter, and welcome back to World of Tanks. Woo! And welcome back to patch 9.5 test server. Huzzah! In the last episode, we talked a bunch about the new tanks in this tech tree, which is going to be gracing its presence on the British line. We've finally got some new tanks for the Brits, one of which I am very much looking forward to, the Sherman Firefly. This lovely beauty here, but also a variety of other tanks as well. If you are the kind of person, however, who wants to learn a little bit more about these vehicles, then there is a link in the description down below to the first episode. And if you are also super curious, you can also get a link in the description as well, which will take you to a patch notes, which will allow you to see all of the itty-bitty details of the patch that I would spend forever talking to you guys about, which is rather nice. But anyway, in this episode, it's all going to be about the new maps and a few games with Nimbus, who very kindly joined me to not only look at the new maps, but also for the few games. So without further ado, let's get into the new maps. Okay, so here we are on Ghost Town. This is the new Team Battles map for World of Tanks, which, in my opinion, I think probably could do with being put either onto Team Skirmishes, perhaps onto normal, but more primarily Team Skirmishes as well. But oh well, maybe they'll do that in a patch's time. Now, as this is the first time I'm using this feature, which is a mod, so it's not in-game, unfortunately, but still, it's a pretty nice feature. I'm going to kind of focus on their base first, so let's have a look at the base. And as you'll notice, there's lots of sort of sections where hull-down / side-scraping vehicles may profit a lot. If we go down to their perspective, there's a little lovely corner which offers a good view from our spawn and also offers a pretty decent view of the cap as well. So if you are trying to get around to get a shot in on the cap, you can. Now this is our friendly cap on this side, and as you can see, there are lots of destructible buildings. You can see these two buildings here offer a nice one. Also, note this section here. If you are a little sneaky bugger who knows how to drive his tank without having to cap, without destroying his territory, you are offered some limited protection from mainly being spotted. If you are lucky enough to position yourself in this cap zone here, you can potentially save yourself from being shot. But as you can see, there is no real indestructible cover that will allow you to protect yourself, that will protect you from enemy tanks from coming in. So namely fast or heavy tanks will possibly destroy this area, perhaps early to sort of give you that chance, but looking pretty good for the standard cap. You can see a couple of extra destroyable buildings, lots of walls as well to come around, but all of which are destructible. Nice little bit of foliage and grass here, so artillery and tank destroyers, if enemy tanks are coming around that sort of opening there, may be in a good position to get some shots off. But once again, it's still, they're not the shots that you'll be able to get out of here. Mostly, I think artillery will profit from this area rather than tank destroyers. But then again, also, artillery does have, especially higher tier artillery, does have a pretty decent section to work with in the form of this bit of grass here. Mainly, I also think this is probably where tank destroyers may be more profitable should enemy tanks decide to come down south and push along this section here. So this looks very nice indeed. Of course, there is also water, which I believe can be if you can you go. Oh, you can. Yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, as you can see, it is. Wow, that's really cool. Sorry, first time I've done this. So yeah, as you can see, it is drownable. So for those scumbags out there, for people hunting scumbags, do be aware that that is drownable. There are like 3 sections of this map that are drownable. So anyway, let's proceed further into town. So as you can see, there's a lot of destroyed buildings offering relatively decent cover from artillery. I'll make our way into the town, and as you can immediately see, there is a lot of side scraping points. This section entering towards, coming up towards the central diamond-shaped buildings. There is a chance, if we are certain, yep, you can get up there. So enemy tanks who are fast enough, say Batchats or medium tanks, can potentially go here and potentially get shots into people. They even have people potentially getting shots into the cap as well. So if you want to try and cover your friends as they attempt to capture, you can stay back here and provide cover for them. But there is a lot of trees in the way, so you might need to get them to knock them down. but also the enemy cap can shoot you, as there is very little to no cover at all from these things, so maybe it's not the best idea, but then again, we've yet to see what kind of tactics will be in play. Once again, though, very tightly built, tight-knit cities. This area here, nice little tiny open park-like space. This crane is indestructible, so it provides a little bit of protection. If you're coming under fire, it gives you a small chance of protection if you want to pop out, take a shot, and come back into cover, so that's pretty good. Also being covered by a rather large destroyed building. So lots of cover, lots of sort of itty-bitty tiny streets. Proceeding into the main section, I would hope that this is going to be a slugfest center. Completely similar buildings on all sides, offering 2 access points for large vehicles, small access for small vehicles, I'm going to assume here. Yeah, pretty much a diamond-like formation, so diagonally offering larger access here and here. And then, of course, you've got the smaller access for smaller vehicles here as well. But also offering very good side-scraping capabilities for any side-scraping like tanks, which is pretty nice. All of which this area has accessibility. All of this area is also accessible via going uphill. So in this sense, not so much here. But then again, you are entering more into a sort of clutch zone here. Lots of kind of crossfire moments. I reckon fast tanks will have to be careful not to get caught in the crossfire. But entering onto this side of the map, all players kind of have like a massive open roads. There's very little cover in these roads. In fact, there's no cover in these roads. So if you're not careful, you can be caught out. This is intriguing. Yeah, this is kind of more areas for people to sort of take pot shots. This is a bit of a... Yeah, if you position yourself here, you've got a beautiful line all the way down to this position on the end of these 2 positions on the end of that road. But once again, anyone who does stay up here will be shot at and will potentially get themselves killed very quickly. But also, this area is easily accessible in many areas, so you rush up here, you can be able to outflank. So if we go up a little further, you'll note also that the map is kind of built the same way on both sides. So for example, where this one on this section of the map is, note the looks of this area. So basically it's an E with a sort of tight-knit streets. You'll find its opposite is here with virtually the same buildings and style, which is rather interesting to see. So this is a little bit of a close and tight-knit street. So any light tanks, any tanks coming around the corner have to be careful, because this one is slightly more cramped than usual, but anyone waiting around here can potentially do a lot of damage to you. Now, going on to the enemy's cap, pretty similar to our cap as well. Note the sort of destructible buildings here. Every building here is destructible, offering a limited but still potentially life-saving amount of cover from either tank destroyers, artillery, or enemy tanks defending the cap. There is also the same amount of bush and tree cover that could offer a camouflage protection for the tank destroyers. And once again, like the other cap, lots of destructible cover, pretty much the same as it was on the other side for this standard matchmaking, or standard map, but offering the same kind of stuff for that. So pretty much this map is very much designed on like a diagonal slant, which is kind of like mirrored on each side, which I like because it offers a lot for like team battles and professional gaming. Like, you can tell this map was designed to be like Counter-Strike style maps, where everything is kind of built the same, so it offers the players an equal chance of doing extremely well, and it relies more then on them for having better team skills rather than the map design. There is a little difference though in this map, as there is a very nice bit of cover which I'm guaranteeing that artillery will like to be here. I reckon this sort of hill section, which also gives a pretty decent view of the enemy spawn as well, considering also the northern half of the town, which may provide decent cover for tank destroyers. Quite similar in some regards, but I reckon the artillery on this side may profit a bit more, simply because of how it can hide them slightly better. So this potentially could be a problem for some tanks or some teams if they're not on this side and the artillery is on that point. But then again, if you are professional, you probably would have thought of that already. This is the enemy spawn, and as you can see, there is no reason to camp here whatsoever. Same on my spawn as well over there. There is little to no cover whatsoever, thus forcing you to move into the town and seeking a different position. Now, an interesting note to make before we end this one is that this section of land is accessible. You can get here, whilst there is absolutely no cover whatsoever, and also it's very deep getting in here. As you can see, this area is not for the faint of hearted, as, wow, that looks kind of cool, as this area is very deep, so any tank that attempts to cross this river unwittingly will end up potentially having a watery grave, though fast vehicles may get away with this. However, I very much doubt it. So, I mean, how you don't even have, you can just see how deep it is, so potentially you can get up there, like, if you're clever, but at the same time, it's still 10 seconds and then a life. So if it's not, I wouldn't personally go for it, but any fast, light vehicles who want to potentially, you know, get an artillery shot to save the game, potentially could do that. Quick, mainly tiny last note, little bit of cover here for potentially, you know, hull-down vehicles, which could get shots. Maybe not straight into the cap, but certainly for those defending the cap from this possession, could potentially get some bonuses as well. But yeah, so generally my opinion with this map, I really like it. I think this map would be very, I think maybe skirmishes would profit from this map as much, if not slightly more, from this map than the team battles. But then again, also, if it's put onto the regular maps, I wouldn't complain either, because it's a very, very well designed map. It's, you know, it's the same map on each side, but it's nice to see that they're actually dedicating it more to, well, okay, if you screw this map up, it's not our fault that you failed, it's actually the team's fault that you failed. So, very interesting to see, and looking forward to having a go on this if I ever get the chance. Anyway, now we're going to take you to the second new map. And we're back, and we are on the new map, Mitten Guard. Here she is. Very nice looking map, I will say. Yes, this is the new map for low tier tank engagements, which will be a sort of a great way to introduce new players to the way of World of Tanks. If we have a look at the spawns first, you'll see on my side of the spawn a very nice, very steep hill which pretty much guides the player instantly towards the town, forcing them to move rather than staying up here attempting to camp, which is quite nice. It's nice to see that Wargaming is giving us the impetus rather than giving us the capacity to camp. It is exactly the same on the other side of the map as well, so basically the players have no choice but to go down into this valley, whereupon they can start fighting. So anyway, first thing we're going to have a look at is the cap zones. And as you can see on this side, similar to Ghost Town, there is very little cover at all that enemy tanks can hide behind without it being destroyed. So yeah, there's no cover where they can hide and, you know, be completely safe. There's a bit of foliage cover though, so if you are a small tank with a decent camo rating, you may profit a bit from that. But generally speaking, if you are trying to cap, it's very easy for the opposing team to find you and kill you. And as you can tell you can also tell that this map is for low tiers, just because of how low the buildings are. Like literally, this low obviously means you're going to be in a small tank, and also up here as well, low tier tank, not really going to be able to profit too much if you're in a higher tier tank. But in this kind of engagement, this offering some, you know, pretty decent cover from whoever's trying to shoot at you from, say, the main road up in the town, but also gives you guys an extra chance to take a couple of shots at those trying to charge at you. There is also a shooting position from here as well, which offers some limited arc shots. If you are extremely lucky, you probably get about, say, that much shots into people. But also, this area provides a lot of protection if in case the enemy are attempting to come from this section of the map, which we'll get to later. I don't really think this section of the map is going to be too useful unless, of course, you're an artillery player, perhaps, and you want to get some cheeky shots into your opponent's cap or base around there, or if you are a tank which wants to get a bit more of a higher profile, thus allowing you to get some pretty decent shots into your cap as well. Moving through the town, you'll see a very much open and very much very much open with little cover section of the, pretty much I'm going to call the strip. Literally this entire road section here, which has two circular sections of two roundabouts, one up here and one over there. This section in particular, I will say I do like. It's kind of very much Himmelsdorf-like, offering some limited protection, offering no protection at all, but each side does have not only a low position for which they can shoot, but also a higher up position for which they can shoot, thus potentially doing damage to the opposing side, while, say, their light tanks perhaps try and sneak around the rear and do some potential heavy damage to them. Going over to the enemy cap, it's pretty much the same as it was on our side, only slightly less foliage to provide cover to, so it makes it even harder to cap. And not only does it make it slightly harder to cap, but one of the buildings which offers a higher perspective also is much closer, so this one has a much more commanding view of the cap zone, thus allowing you potentially to be able to defend this area a lot more, or potentially protect your friends who are trying to cap from those who attempt to return from base, or those like trying over from there, but not really giving you much cover. So, once again, offering limited abilities to shoot into the town, and potentially this one, I think this one here might have a couple of shots near the enemy cap, but all of which is relatively decently balanced, so it makes shooting straight from your base to their base virtually impossible. So that's the main town-esque area of this map, and in encounter modes, this area here will be the cap zone. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how light tanks and sort of low-tier tanks will deal with that kind of environment when it comes up to it, because it is a very nice-looking map. I will say I do like this town because it's a very decent size. It's not a very large map, but it also gives you enough high-paced action in which you can potentially get a lot of good games out of. Now, I'm going to go take you now to one of two extra locations in this map, which personally I don't know why they are there, but maybe at some point they may be used for something else. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I would have perhaps had them for spawns, but then again, people would have camped, so, you know, maybe, who knows, but either way. This section of the map on this side of the church allows a lot more foliage cover. So if you are a light tank or a tank destroyer with a high camo rating, you will be able to easily find a nice suitable spot for you to pop a few shots into your opponents who attempt to come into the section. I think scumbags will probably profit from this area the most, I believe, especially, say, from around here, because they've not only got a little bit of cover from the hill as well, they've got enough trees and bushes around them to provide cover. But if they are wanting to take a bit more of a line, say a sort of higher tier artillery that can reach further into the town, further back around here, especially around this little corner here, they can find themselves pretty decent cover, that allowing them to get some pretty nasty shots into your opponents. I have checked as well, if you are wondering, no, this church is not able to be climbed onto. This is merely for decorative purpose, and it does look rather nice. I think also that's from Himmelsdorf as well, which looks rather nice. Anyway, going to the other half of the map, this section here, which offers, once again, a number, certainly an alternative amount of camo cover, providing if you are going down this line. Once again, also given a small amount of hill protection, but primarily this is for just camo and for artillery players wanting to get a few cheeky shots into your opponent. This, however, does have a slightly different tone, as it does have a tiny lake in which people can potentially move to, but it is not able to be drowned in. I did check. It's if you're a very, very tiny tank, maybe tier 1, perhaps tier 2, potentially could have some drowning problems, but generally speaking, this lake isn't really large enough for you to drown in. It's more of a sort of potential suicide lake, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem, as it also provides little to no cover if in case you are trying to go there. So generally speaking, I really like this map. I think out of all of the maps, I would say this map I like the most, simply because of its aesthetics, but also because it's a very nice way to introduce. It's a nice way to introduce players to World of Tanks, whilst also keeping the action. You're not going into those big maps where you kind of have no clue where you're going, you have little to no idea how to play this thing, and then all of a sudden you're in this kind of massive map where everyone else has got much bigger tanks than you. This one I think is very nice. It's very small. It's compact enough that if you are going to be having other large games, you'll be able to enjoy them far more than perhaps you previously would if you had, if it's really awesome, like stuff like that. But anyway, I will see you in the third and final map. And here we are for the third and final map of the video. Well, you know, the final new map. I mean, that said, this isn't new, but it's new in the sense of what they've done to it. This is, of course, the Winter Ruinberg map, which is the replacement for Ruinberg on Fire, because many people were talking about how dull and dark some section of the map was. So clearly Wargaming have taken this to heart and have completely replaced it, making it as bright, if not slightly foggy, as possible. There isn't really much new with this map, apart from the obvious wintry textures. I mean, that said, there is like a couple of new features, whilst my friend Nimbus and I were testing out the map. Now, if we can just speed up the transit, we can have a quick look. There have been a couple of additional features. Oops, let's go up a little bit. Little additional features. For example, some elements of the area. Primarily, it's just hills and bushes, really. This section of the map now has a hill, which I have not seen before. So if you have been there, it hasn't been noticeable. But this one, I don't believe is new. So I believe is new. So providing a slight protection for those inside the cap. Also, certain amount of cover for bushes and stuff. Kind of also, there's a nice foggy kind of texture to it, so it provides an extra amount of perhaps ability for players with lower computers to be able to survive, if not other stuff. Also, a rather large amount of bushes. That said, it could just be that it's the same thing all over, but it's a little bit more noticeable now in this. Sort of extra amount of lumpiness in the hills. Rather nice looking map. Still quite pleasant. You can see slight bumps and mumps along this side, which is rather nice. But generally speaking, it's a nice looking map. I really like this wintry style edition. It's very pleasant. It's a bit like a cold morning after the snowfall in the middle of hell. So definitely a nice improvement, and certainly a nice looking map over its perhaps previous counterpart. I mean, I preferred Ruinbergers. I also liked Ruinberg on Fire. I didn't really see any problems at all, nor did I have any problems at all with the previous map. But I guess in World of Tanks, people have, if you can find something to complain about, they'll complain about it. So, Ruinberg on Fire. This is the new map, and it looks pretty good. Anyway, now, we're going to have a couple of games with Nimbus in the test server, first of which will feature none other than this glorious beast, the Sherman Firefly. And we're back, and we are unsurprisingly got a match in our Sherman Fireflies. So, this is looking very nice.
Firefly.
I'm looking forward to seeing how these things fare in combat. I'm surprised lots of other people are... Well, we've got lots of scumbags in this game, so we have to be careful.
Yeah,
This is
FE2
kind
of course.
a pretty much an average matchmaking, which is rather surprising. Okay, we're gonna go to town, right?
Of course.
Kind of nervous now. Hopefully we don't suck.
Time to roll out.
Bibo. Everyone will shoot gold. Everyone does.
Oh yeah, everyone will shoot guns.
The entire team doesn't know how to use their tanks.
Well, yeah. Well, let's hope that's the case. I mean, that said, we've got tier 6s as well, so, you know.
Putin fucking yes, because that is so mature.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as a note, there will be dickheads in the. There's a bonus to playing the new, you know, the new stuff, but unfortunately there is a downside as well, where the Russians, because this is like server roaming, there are lots of sort of hatred from the Russians to the British and to the UK and the EU and all that jazz. So primarily it's EU, but they have a go at... someone had a go at me for being British once. It was like, oh, go suck a cup of tea. And I'm like...
I will sip it, you bitch.
We do not suck, we sip, uncivilized brute.
You uncivilized barbarian.
Right, somehow they spotted... Either we got spotted, or they... Oh, Hellcat. Oh, okay, well, let's just focus on the town. T-150... Oh fuck, missed. Hit! Look back, look back! Oh,
2 seconds reload beach. Reload to them nice.
VK 3001.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Ah! Careful when you let me know when you're coming up on my 6. I nearly shot you. Right, moving up, right side.
Yeah, on the other
fuck.
side
Contact! Oh my god, I bounced! What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Let's rip him.
Be careful, he might have backup. He does have backup. Don't go out, mate.
Rip
Got him. Fuck him up.
He has me.
Shouldn't have gone back there. Oh, thank you very much. Ah, don't lag on me, bitch game. Don't you dare lag on me, bitch game.
Yeah, I had leg spikes. That's why I
Yeah.
kept moving forward.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
I mean, like, I was already halfway the street when the leg stopped. I'm like, okay, well, then continue.
The question is this man aware?
Oh,
he is
yes,
aware.
he's... You have the...
I've got BIA, but
You have BIA and you have more health than him. You can out DPM with these.
yeah, I don't want to lose health though because there's still too many tanks about.
Most of them are, yeah.
Like as much as
He
you
was
can
stupid.
out DPM him, as much as you can out DPM him, you don't want to bugger about with these things.
Yeah, but
I
still,
already
like,
love this Firefly. Just gonna say right now, Firefly, greatest tier 6 tank I've driven. And yeah, I haven't even tested it. This is like, I know placeholder stats, just to let people know. But still, this thing's amazing.
I'm seriously afraid they will nerf the DPM though.
Oh, that thief scumbag just drowned himself. What a coward.
It
I don't know.
happens.
I know they're probably going to nerf it because they're like, oh no, we can't give British tanks this amount of awesome power because, you know, that's not fair.
What?
Can only shoot close targets.
How the hell?
Yep.
That was basically he scratched your head, like.
I'm just surprised I bounced that. Like, look at the
85?
bounce I had on my freaking turret on my tank front. That was ridiculous. That was a good game. Surprisingly good game. Wow, I got second class mastery badge out of that.
Holy
instant.
shit! The first class looks nice now.
I know, yeah, they've made it look really nice. New record. I think it's because not. Do. I got Bruiser. I got a fair. Oh, for experience, I got the most. I also got the most damage, though for
I
some
got
reason I
second
didn't
in
get high
damage.
caliber.
Not enough.
Oh, probably not enough team stuff, maybe. But yeah, no. Got Master Gunner, got Fire for Effect, and Bruiser. I spotted a fair amount for targets as well. Doing quite a lot of I buggered over that KV-85. Damaged his turret and his fuel tank. Damaged the fuel tank of the Firefly. Damaged the fuel tank of that. Damaged the track of that. Did lots of damage to them. Lots of nice stuff. That was a very good game.
The ELC lost half his crew.
Nice. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Hey, he only has 2 crew. That isn't a D.
LOL. We are back, and we are in Tier 8, Charioteers. Where are you, my friend? I cannot see you.
I'm hidden
Oh, there you
behind
are.
an E75.
I see the 75, the R guy. Okay, so good match in the Firefly. Hopefully, going to be hopefully going to be a good map. To be honest with you, I don't really care if we win or lose. I just want to see how effective this thing is in combat.
Well,
To a small extent.
what I have seen, gun depression, gun elevation,
Problem.
shite.
Yeah. Well, that said, this is a Hellcat. I'm going to treat this like a Hellcat. Like fast.
Mostly highest elevation.
Yay! We can kind of do a moderate salute.
Yay,
Thanks, bye.
best depression. Like, I can barely watch in front of me.
Yay! I don't know. Do I have? I think I've got all the equipment modules attached for this thing. If not, bugger. That said, 8.69 second reload. Not bad. For a gun that does 390 damage, which I also get Hesh, is not bad.
Uh-oh.
Oh, fuck. Hang on. Let me know where you're going. I don't really want to be the first to advance, mind.
I bounced the LTTB.
Yeah, of course.
Because, yeah, British tanks went on. Okay, let's see. LTTB. Fuck off.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh, why am I moving forward? Leg spike or something. I'm now moving backward when I was stopping. What the hell? 268 pen. Like, yeah, LTB. Bonk.
Overpowered. Pulling back.
Wait, did they add a new rock in here? Probably haven't been here. in
They
quite some
the only
time.
changes that they made were to the
Yeah, that's what I say. Like, probably haven't been here in quite some time.
Ah, fuck. Hit me.
I mean, lately I've been... enemy Charioteer!
Careful, mate.
Yeah, that was a Charioteer as well. Goddamn, lots of Wait, wait.
Everyone likes Charioteers. There we go. Now we know what now I know what I'm dealing with. Okay.
Here's the weird shit.
T-54. Nicely done.
Was me.
Wololo. Oh.
That was me.
Okay, there's a Waffenträger Aufstrong Panzer IV. There he is. Oh, fuck. Charioteer. Ow! Bollocks, I should have thought.
Oh, there's the other Charioteer.
Yeah, try and get that Waffenträger if you can.
Don't have shots
no
on it
shot, no
because
chance,
gun
no
depression.
chance. Yeah, this thing has terrible gun depression. Why did I make that mistake?
Hey, look at my HP. I made a big mistake.
No, look at my HP.
Yeah, that was because you got hit by a Waffenträger. I was hit by a lot of stupid stuff. There's the Charioteer
again.
He's aiming here.
Yep. Probably going to take a pot shot at me if he's going to fire. Now would be the time. No, he's not. Yes, he is. No, he's backing off. God damn, this thing really does have bad gun depression. Is it as bad with the Chinese tanks, or is this worse? Oh, you bounced.
Really? I bounced one.
90. How the hell did you get 90, or are you firing high explosive?
I fired high explosive.
You know better to shoot that than to shoot that tank. That thing actually has armor.
105.
This thing has...
I was yeah.
What's this one? This one has 210. Maybe you should have just fired H. Okay, I'm going to fall back a bit. You try and hold this position if you want to, or if you want to follow me, we're going to try and hold off against these guys over on this flank, though I doubt our team is doing. Weirdly enough, this team is relatively good, and it's mostly made out of Russian players. So...
Don't fuck with the Russians.
Yeah, they actually seem like pretty decent players, unlike the EU lot.
Well, they are not being a bitch at the moment, so I like them. They're not being bitchy.
I mean, nothing against the EU players, but unfortunately, when you play World of Tanks a lot, when you get accustomed to banned players, and there are really some terrible players out there who just screw your games over so quickly, and that should have gone in. Right, they're looking at me, and I cannot see for shit, so I'm pulling back.
I missed target.
I hate it when there's too much foliage.
Need to be able to turn foliage off sometimes.
I just wish I could, I mean, obviously it's part of the game features, but it's just so annoying when you're trying to get shots on someone. Nicely done, mate. Nicely done. Ow, fuck off, you Russian pig. God damn it, I hate this lack of gun depression. I thought I was going to enjoy this vehicle more, but it turns out I'm really not.
That's because we are on a hilly map where you need to learn where you can use your gun depression. Sorry. It's really hard.
Take your time. I'm going for the type. Oh, really? He didn't. Oh, he had normal fire extinguisher. Right, let's help the SSU-122-54 out. Pulling back. Dude, stop using high explosive.
That was hash.
Doesn't matter.
210 pen.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
Fuck.
Oh!
Gold spamming bulldog.
Oh, my turret is just loaded. And I get flanked by someone else. Gonna kill you. Gonna kill you. Oh. Okay, I'm not gonna kill you. Back.
Ah. Well,
We left the flank and it died.
Yeah. Oh well. We did pretty well, considering we did, I don't know how much damage we did. You got 2 kills as well, so that's pretty decent.
Yeah, let's see what I did.
Because
I spent heat.
I really didn't like the amount of... I only did by 1k. Okay. So,
wow.
Well, we did more than half our team. I'm going to walk away with that at least. But really didn't like the lack of depression on this thing. That really annoyed me there.
Object 432. A gunner and loader destroyed.
Nice. I don't know, I
And
really...
not even killed, just destroyed.
Type 61 knocked his engine, FCM to track damage, and spotted damage. Yeah, I will say, not a big fan of the lack of gun depression on this thing. It really limits what you can do, which does suck quite a bit.
Yeah, you are a waiting tank on a ridge or something.
Yeah.
Not even a ridge, you're basically base defender. This thing is not more than a base defender.
Yeah, which is annoying because it's like, this thing has the potential, and I really like it, but I guess I just got to learn how to handle shitty gun depression. And we're back, and we are probably going to be in a very quick game. Why? Too many scumbags. Too many scumbags. This is... I would love to launch a petition just to say to Wargaming, stop with the 4 artillery in one game. Especially at tier 10. Bullshit.
Like, I can still accept 2, but that is when it's an open
one.
map.
Only 1 from, from tier 8 onwards. Because...
I've
thing
actually
is,
checked
every
it.
time...
I've checked it. Tier 9 and tier 10, 1 or 2 are the...
No, I wouldn't say what to, because the problem is, once artillery can still screw you over. Like, if he hits you, he can kill your game very quickly. Whereas, if you have 2, you know, like, he can still do something. Whereas, like, if you just spam... Oh, hang on. Hold up. You need to go another way, because they're not... None of them are going the other way yet.
Object 140 wanted me to follow him. I'm going to shoot you, you bastard. Where the fuck are you? Oh, he wanted to go on the hill. Yeah, not going there. And he got shot from the middle.
Yee, that was close.
Oh, wait. There are doesn't traverse 100.
Oh, yeah, limited turret traverse.
I was already like, drive by! Oh, wait a minute. Drive by doesn't work with this thing. I like it that we get a shovel on our ass.
What's that?
We get a shovel on our ass.
Oh, that's just something that can keep you down when you're firing.
Yeah, that's why
that is literally what it's designed for. It is designed to absorb recoil.
I know, but I love it. I love every time I see such a
I
sight.
don't care. You're alive.
I love it.
Right. Well, so far, we're still alive, but don't expect that to last.
We're still alive. Ow. Thank you.
Artillery.
Thank you, Capante. You saved us. You screwed us over once again.
Oh, you thought you could, but you didn't.
You thought you had a life, and then I took it away.
I love it. It's like, oh, I'm gonna hammer at you. I'm gonna do so much damage. Yeah. No, you're not.
I'm going to die by
Bat chat. Move. You can go now.
That's it. You can't go. Mouse.
I see him. Don't have shots on him.
Oh fuck! Someone has shots on me.
Jägeru. Oh, Jägeru is down. Achtung, front side. Watch your turret.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Ah.
What's your third? I'm like, yeah, you really think so? 15 on all sides.
You are no, it's like watch out in case he tries to go for your turret. But unfortunately, yeah, this game is a fail. But still, did a fair amount of damage.
You got at least 2 good shots off. I got 1 shot off that went nowhere. That went seriously. Kills defying gravity since wargaming was made. Hey, do you have a high explosive loaded?
No, I'm gonna die before this guy gets a shot in. Or before I can get a shot in. Yep.
He had high explosives.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know whether this tank is really going to be... I think something tells me I'm going to get so far in this thing, and then I'll be like, you know what, I don't care. Oh, what a coward, Vic. What a coward. Scumbag kills himself. What a coward.
That's why I was thinking, like, maybe I would like the Death Star Mark 1 more.
Maybe.
But up to what I have seen, I think I only like this line for the Firefly.
I think so too. Let's leave this game. But yeah, I think the Firefly is definitely going to be something which I personally think will probably be the highlight of the whole thing. And then afterwards it's going to be kind of like maybe uphill with some tanks, but downhill with others. So there you have it. The 3 new, well, 2 really new, 1 revamped map, which is rather nice. And also some very nice gameplay of our new tanks, especially the Firefly. That game in the Firefly, really loved. Like, the way this thing worked, I worked with it completely well, and it's just the sweet spot. It's just the most amazing tier 6 I've driven, and if Wargaming keep this tank like this when patch 9.5 comes out, holy mother of God, I have now found a new love, and the M4A3 Easy 8 can go straight in the trash can, because now I've got a freaking Firefly, new word. Firefly, there we go. So anyway, that's about it for this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this kind of content, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below, clicking on the like button and, of course, subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much, Mr. Nimbus, for joining me on this one, and I hope we can work together on many other test servers, either by us looking at the new maps, shooting at stuff, or getting blown up in turn. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. This is Crap Hunter signing out. I'll catch you next time.